What's up? What's happening? What's going on, guys? It's another video, so welcome. I kind of want to talk about the X-Men Dark Phoenix, the movie that nobody really is talking about or giving a shit about. So let's talk about it. Actually, there's a couple of people already in this planet, on planet Earth. All right, Earth X. All right, there's people that have seen Dark Phoenix. That's right. They saw the new X-Men with their own eyes. And at this point, it's not like it's Avengers Endgame or even John Wick 2 for crying out loud, where this movie is like, oh man, this is the most anticipated film. Look, the curiosity about this movie now is predicated on the fact that this movie had production problems and it's been pushed back twice. And so at this point, we're like, all right, let's just see. I don't mind hearing what the movie's about or all this spoilery stuff. The Fox X-Men films are no longer going to matter, in a sense, where we're so obsessed with shared universes these days that if it's not part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's not real. That's bullshit. These movies can stand alone just as fine in a different universe. Just give us great stories. Give us something that has, you know, something cohesive, something that where the continuity is not screwed up. Because I gotta tell you, man, if you're looking for continuity in the X-Men movies, holy shit. First and foremost, this movie has had problems. This movie's had issues. Like bad issues in a series run. You know, in certain X-Men eras, we've had some pretty bad versions of the X-Men, and we've gotten great versions of the X-Men. Now, the comics, they're so complex, but they tell such great stories that the X-Men, for the longest time, I've thought in my head, why can't there be a decent X-Men movie where you can sit there and go, wow, there's 3 X-Men movies in a row that are really great. No, there's always like one that's just great. And then there's a few bad ones. And there's another one that's great. And there's a few bad ones. And then you got X-Men Apocalypse. And then we're just left with that. So we go into Dark Phoenix and we're like, all right, there's no Hugh Jackman. So get your Wolverine out of the way. Get your wants to have Wolverine in every movie out of the way. Because Hugh Jackman's not in this film. And honestly, let's be real, okay? Those movies were successful because of Hugh Jackman starring as Wolverine, the fan favorite that made the mainstream audience, you know, the people who didn't give a shit about X-Men before 2000s X-Men, you know, they all love X-Men because they think, oh, Wolverine's the star. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom or my dad or people who don't read the comics, they're going to go and say, well, this is what the X-Men was. In reality, it wasn't. If you go back and watch First Class, that was the closest to any X-Men movie out there possible. Like, that was the closest thing to getting an X-Men movie. With Dark Phoenix coming out in June, what are we going to expect? We're going to expect a lot of things that we're going to see this series come to a close, okay? I know that there's a lot of reshoots happening with this movie, and it's going to be interesting to see how they edit this film and put it together, considering that there's been many test screenings of this film. It's pretty much, you're still grounding the Phoenix storyline too much, and you can't go intergalactic like in the comics. It's like, what's the problem, guys? You know, like, you've got Guardians of the Galaxy, you've got Captain Marvel coming out, okay? And these are movies that take place in fucking space! There's planets, there's aliens, there's Skrulls in Captain Marvel. But Fox is like, oh no, we can't have that. The audience is too smart for aliens and the Marvel garbage that is displayed onto the silver screen. What this film to me describes is that it's afraid to call itself an X-Men movie. It really is. You could still save the X-Men films by having a different director, having a bold vision to bring something new to the table. And yeah, I'm a frustrated asshole because I want a great X-Men film where we have certain ingredients that are much better than the previous films. A better Storm, a better Cyclops. We've got this shit going on. I think even Jean is even better, okay? But you got them in a shit story. Like, they're surrounded by things that don't work. Okay, and when you got Michael Fassbender playing your Magneto still, holy shit, even bigger of a disappointment. Okay, Jessica Chastain is in this movie, and I have no clue who she's playing, nor do I give a shit. Okay, at this point, this is a movie that I look at as right now. I'm gonna go see, and I know it's not fair to the filmmakers. I know it's not fair. I love Simon Kinberg. I love the cast of this film. I love everything about, as far as the cast, the director, the producers. But from what I'm hearing for the past year, okay, since this movie has had problems, it's not the movie that and you know what, and I know it's not fair to say this either, but I kind of sort of anticipated this movie to be bad already, because X-Men Apocalypse, let's be real, wasn't that great. Okay, the Apocalypse storyline, that's the movie you give us, really? Okay. So with going in with Dark Phoenix, it's like, guys, step your game up. You have a chance. You're sitting on a gold mine of a wonderful story, and you fucking tarnished it again. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that when I go see this movie in the theater, that everything that I'm saying now, that everything that I've read, everything that I've heard, the conversation with my friend on the phone, everything, I hope has been adjusted, and it is just, they go out on a bang. Like, they just go out on a bang. However, I doubt it. I really doubt it. And I'm being real with you. I'm being real with you, man. That's just my feelings about it, okay? All right. Now, this is a spoiler, but this is one of those, like, if you're smart, you can kind of connect the dots and kind of figure this one out. A character dies in this movie. You watch the trailers. Who do you not see anymore on the parts that look like the third act of the film? You see the scenes where Hank knocks the bottle of Jack Daniels or whatever out of Charles Xavier's hands in that scene after he says, "It's your fault, Charles." Yeah, what would motivate Hank to do that, given the rules that were set up in the first film in that trilogy, First Class? But it's for an X-Men finale for Dark Phoenix. It's like, come on, man, really? That's what you're giving us? So, but I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen with this series, with the X-Men, with the fate of the X-Men on Fox, how they're going to end that, how they're going to scrap that, how they're going to begin it with Disney. I mean, I really love McAvoy as Xavier, Fassbender as Magneto. I mean, those are your strong points. Sorry, my computer keeps going down, so the light keeps disappearing. Holy shit, I got gas. Anyway, so I love those guys as those characters. I love the cast as those characters. I mean, you've got something great here. It's just, you're not in well-written films. Yeah, so, and I have no idea what's going on with Deadpool 3. Deadpool 3 supposedly is being developed right now, but it doesn't mean that it's being filmed or it's going to be filmed anytime soon. So, yeah, I have several friends that live in California and live in LA. They do work as they work for studios, and there's people that tell me things. Now, I'm not one of those that's like, oh man, I got inside source material. No, I'm just, they're just employees, and they hear things and they hear murmurs, and they tell me some of the murmurs, and I'm one of those that just gets overexcited about those murmurs, and I talk about it with you folks. So, but anyways, thank you so much for watching this. I will be back with more movie reviews and discussions like this. Go ahead and hit the like button so it tells me that I'm doing a good job, and hit the subscribe button. Please subscribe to my channel, folks. I had a temporary Josh government shutdown. Now it's been reopened. I'm back. I'm here. Let's do this shit. Let's talk movies, guys. I will be back, like I said, once again. But until then, I'm out. Peace.